Hi everybody, this is Judy at Judy in the Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you some different ways to store some fresh lettuce. I have a fresh head of green leaf lettuce, loose leaf lettuce here, and this is straight out of the bag from the grocery store. And this is one that was pre-wrapped, not having been rained on there in the produce department of the grocery store. When you get it home, you want to take it out of that plastic, check it out. And if there's any really bad leaves, you want to remove them. If your lettuce looks crisp, you can go ahead and do this without any other treatment to it. If it looks on the dry and wilted side, you'll want to sprinkle it with some water and maybe shake some of that off. But all you need to do, and I've done this for a long time and it's worked well for me, is you want to preserve the moisture that's in there but not have a wet environment. So you can wrap it up in a clean cloth, just like this, or a strip of paper towels, and then take that and place it in a plastic bag, and that keeps the lettuce away from the plastic, and yet the plastic helps to hold the moisture in there. Put this in the refrigerator. Sometimes I'll put it in the bottom of the door of the refrigerator. You could put this in the crisper. You want to protect this so it doesn't get banged around in the refrigerator, because that will bruise the lettuce. But this is one very simple way to keep your lettuce. Now this next method involves your washed lettuce. So I have washed and spun my head of lettuce. You can cut your lettuce up if you want to. If you're going to cut your lettuce up, I would suggest you either tear it or use a plastic lettuce knife. If you use a metal knife and you're going to store lettuce, it could cause the edges to turn brown. So that's a good tip for you. But again, you can use this with the whole leaf or the torn leaves. Now, I've got a relatively shallow container here. The bigger the container, the better. I don't have a really deep container other than possibly the bowl for my spinner, and I don't want to use this in the refrigerator right now. So you want a plastic container of some sort with a good fitting lid, and you want to put something down at the bottom that's going to absorb moisture. It could be paper towels. This happens to be just a little cloth towel that I've made for kitchen purposes. It's actually diaper fabric, and I'm just going to lay the leaves in here and in such a way so that they're not overly crowded, but so that they can be against this cloth in some way, and so the cloth will absorb the moisture so that they don't have a lot of water sitting on them, yet at the same time it's going to help to preserve any moisture that's on the lettuce, because what lettuce really needs is a humid environment but not wet. Definitely not wet. So I'm just layering this fabric in there to help absorb any moisture and retain it as well. And this is obviously going to take more than one container to do this. That's all right, I've accepted that, and I've got room in the refrigerator. Now the container is going to help to protect the lettuce from getting bruised and banged up with other things there that it comes in contact with. But you do want to make sure you don't put it at the very back of the refrigerator, because it could potentially freeze. You don't want to do that. Now on the very top here, I'm going to also put a layer of cloth so that that lettuce is not resting against the lid. We don't want it to be resting directly against plastic any more than we can help. And we're just going to put this in the refrigerator, and that lettuce will be ready to go whenever I need it. And I'll just repeat this process with however many containers I need. Looks like I can probably do with this one more container and be done with it. And this lettuce will keep just fine, layered like that between cloth. You do want to check it out every now and then, make sure it's perfectly fine. And if your cloth gets very, very wet, you want to replace it with some dry paper towels or dry cloth so that the lettuce is in a humid environment but certainly not wet. Now one last tip for you: if you're slow to eat your lettuce, choose romaine lettuce or iceberg lettuce because they seem to have the longest shelf life rather than some very tender lettuces like a red leaf lettuce or something like that. Let me know if you have any questions or comments below. This is Judi at Judi in the Kitchen. Bye for now.